Right. Boys, girls, and anyone else. We out here. Yes. God is my witness. We are playing Call of Duty, or just Modern Warfare 2, if I'm not mistaken. I'm keeping the Joe Bush video game comedy hour, and I'm no longer playing This Is the Police. I'm playing Modern Warfare 2. Yes, sure, whatever. Fine. Okay, so we are here. Yeah, I'll be having to moderate my own stream or what chat or whatever. Doesn't really matter so much. I don't have anybody viewing anyway at the moment, but I did finally get the old boss to start moving. I should tell people about it. It's not that anybody's gonna watch, but I am recording this for my own good and my own whatever. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna exploit my own content for academic use. So going on Twitter here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I have the gun. Oh, I gotta let go. I picked up the gun. So I cheated a little bit and already did. Oh, we got hoops. Yeah, nice. Cheated a little bit and I already got my my thing going. So I said 540. All right, so can I just paste that? All right. I hope you guys didn't like see me entering my bank account information or some dumb shit. Who knows? Where's my other boy? So I know what I look like. Yeah, even though I have a general idea that I look like a dumbass. My keyboard is burning with the fire of the gods. Because my computer is being taxed heavily in order to run it, which means no, I can't close Chrome. Why the hell is it? Well, I guess I have it installed on the hard drive. Because I'm very bad at computers. Please God, if you're in the chat and you cannot understand me or cannot hear me or whatever, let me know. So, I got that guy, and I got this guy. This is M4A1. So how do I go? I want to go into the pits. Should have paid attention to my sidearm. Yeah, okay, see. Oh, yeah. It does take a second, like, to pull the big guy out. This is an M4A1. I got the old Desert Eagle. I know the Deagle from my days of Counter-Strike. Shit. Okay, so shoot that man. Oh, let me get back to that, I suppose. No, I don't want to shoot the child, I assume. But I am in the United States military, so. Gosh, dude, like, give me a break. Drill sergeant. Alright. I won't stay clear and move. Oh, I got another one. Why doesn't it most of the other games I've played, I don't play games with guns in them very often. I'll explain my story, at some point. Oh, shit. That's not good. I gotta pick, I definitely gotta pick easy difficulty. I haven't played, like, a first-person shooter in, a year, precisely, actually. I played, High Health last year, which is a really good game from Devolver Digital. I'm also, like, no, I don't want to shoot the guy. How do I sprint? Shift. Okay. Yeah. Regular. Okay. I want it's SPOS 12. I could get Mini Uzi. Do I want Mini Uzi? And here we are. Let's do recruit because I'm playing these for academic purposes. Well, here we are. That was me posting on Facebook because I have friends who probably would think it would be funny, but also who cares to watch me streaming Modern Warfare 2, a Call of Duty game, for the first time, playing this for the first time since I was about 14, would have been 2009, yeah, end of 2009, I think. So I was 14, I was in 9th grade, and I'll talk over this cutscene here. Realistically, the thing that I'm covering is not so much the game itself, not Modern Warfare 2, but actually I believe it is the 4th mission, 4th or 5th stage, called No Russian, which is an episode where, from what I understand, the plots surrounding the mission is that you are some sort of spy or something along those lines, and you I cannot, that's one of the things I'm going to try to figure out as I play this. I cannot for the life of me remember what the plot, like, reasoning is behind it, but the entire thing is this really shocking scene where you basically play through a terrorist attack. It's one of the why is it how do I just go down? Not to all the way. Oh, is it C? Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm pressing the control button. So, okay, gotta use the M203 grenade launcher. I remember we used to call this the noob tube back in the day. But yeah, No Russian was this very highly controversial and pretty quickly forgotten mission in a game that I think had tried to give itself a little bit more gravitas than it deserved. This was the biggest series of the day. This was the biggest game of that year, and it's had a level where you shoot up an airport. And I personally don't think they handled it well. The bridge layer was destroyed. Damn it. Well, personally, they to my memory and from the videos I've watched of the event or of the scene, they don't really handle it well. It's precisely what you would expect from a video game from 2009 where you go through an airport and commit mass murder, and struck a lot of people as tasteless at the time, prompted a lot of that sort of like cable news thing where they're like, are video games ruining the integrity of our youth? Those sorts of questions. I don't think there's an answer to that lies purely in media, and that's not my goal in this either. What I am looking to do in this essay, which I will be writing shortly after I play this, is I'll take out these targets. So I got that guy, and I want him too. There we go. Just committing some good old bloodshed. What I'm trying to do really is examine the rhetorical situation around that event. What was it that prompted the developer of this game, which is Infinity Ward, and the publisher of the game, which is Activision, and I forget who the director of the game is. What was the situation that prompted a No Russian to come into being, into discourse, or whatever the term is? So I'm going to be reading basically this event, not this event, but the one that's going to happen shortly, through the lens of God, what's his name? I keep wanting to call him Kenny or something, like Leonard Bitzer. Through, oh god damn it, Lloyd Bitzer. Yeah, Lloyd Bitzer's concept of the rhetorical situation, which basically states that there's like this. You've got your exigence, you've got kairos, which is like timeliness, and then you've got whatever your inhibitors are from that, and all of those come together. There's like there's another one as well. I need to go back and read through the article again. I'm going to basically examine this through what were the exigencies, what did the time place mean to this. Basically, how did we get to the point, and by we I mean the just discourse in general, video games or Infinity Ward or whomever, how did this end up seeming like something that needed to be produced? No Russian specifically. Oh, there's a guy. And how did we get, or what was the response, effectively? See, I've kind of shared my opinions. I think it's, is that guy there, that just the dude chilling? It doesn't really matter. I like all the detail they put into this, though. There's some, they put a hell of a lot of detail into these scenes, these... Oh, there's a guy with a gun. I gotta shoot him. I am really amazed. There is so much money in games, and still is, but for this sort of game where you basically are just kind of railroaded through a... I gotta just shoot... So like lackadaisically shooting all these people. I got an achievement for it too. I don't know if he's... No, my head is covering up where the achievements are shown. So here I am shooting up what looks to be an abandoned schoolhouse. So that's cool. Just school. I might have to say schoolhouse. Oh god. I really don't feel like I'm accomplishing all that much here. Like, all things considered. God, I've got such, like, vivid memories, though. Not specifically of this scene or anything. Did I die? No, okay, that was meant to happen. That's one of the weird things that happens in this game. You die, like, all of the time. And sometimes it just, like, is a part of the narrative. And you're like, oh, you're supposed to die. Okay, that's fine. Oh, shit, here's a guy. Alright. Press Q to throw a flashbang. Yeah, I got it. Alright, that's... kind of rebounded that. I'm just gonna shoot now and ask questions later. That is, as Toby Keith said, I believe that is the American way. I can get this guy. That's a little bigger than I want. Yeah, sure. This game is huge in my junior high, by the way. Sorry, I should get to my end point. The reason I'm playing this is basically because I just want to get my own get it under my fingers, basically. I want to play it again, because I don't think I actually did as a child. Because it had, I wish I had been filming at the time, but it had like a screen, the menu popped up that was basically asked, like, there are some pretty disturbing things that are going to come up, and you can choose not to see them if you want, which I showed some restraint. I was actually surprised that they did that even back then, because not that I thought anybody was actually going to, anybody other than myself was going to decide not to watch or go through the scene, but it was a show of restraint during a time when games didn't necessarily have a ton of restraint, if you remember 2009 all that well. I feel like this is kind of this is a theory I'm about to form right here with 2 viewers on Twitch, which is that 2009 was a weird pinnacle of gaming. It was at potentially its highest. Oh shit. That was effective. That was a good cinematic thing. I saw the guy throw the grenade and it hit me. But it absorbed it and kept on trucking, just like everybody who's hit by a grenade does. So it was a joke told, and that's kind of weird that there's like comedy in here, because it's like grown. It's like that was like a weird dad joke in a video game. So not that I don't expect dad jokes in video games, but anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about how the 2009 was a weird point in time. These games, I don't think were ever at a level like where they were so ubiquitous before this, but were still like separate from other media. Like now, games are incredibly ubiquitous, because you've got people are playing video games all over the time. They've really been destigmatized. I'll pick up my AK, like whatever the rapper was. Ice Cube, yeah, he had that, but he didn't have to grab it in the song. That's why it was a good day. But yeah, video games are really ubiquitous now. Like kids play Fortnite all the time, or Overwatch, or whatever the other one is. The Battlegrounds. That one. Kids are playing that. Adults are playing that, and it's not, as stigmatized as it used to be. And games that are played on like cell phones are really popular. My mom and my dad and it's not my sister's like a just normal ass video game player, and so am I. But like everybody in my family does. It's not like a weird thing anymore. But in 2009, games were still kind of separate from just like the normal media zeitgeist. If something a game like this was as popular as it was kind of it seemed abnormal. It was still a world different from the rest of the world. The success of Modern Warfare was still like purely contained within like video games, if that would make sense. Whereas now, I don't think I can be on like ESPN and guys will just be openly talking about how they play Fortnite, and it's just like a normal thing. Not that it was like even necessarily a stigmatized thing back then, but it is just like hyper normal now. Like it's video games are like television or any other normal thing. They still got their subculture like any other thing does, but like any other art form does, but I don't know, it's not like as pushed aside, like as separated as it used to be. God, that took a long time to get to that point, but I got to the end of the level, so who gives a shit. So anyway, what I was saying, 2009 was a particular moment in gaming history. This was 2 years after 2007, which was a huge year for gaming. Had Halo 3 launch, which was one of the biggest launch. God, every time I touch my monitor shakes all the time. So anytime I touch it, it just was like, What was I saying? 2009 was a particular moment in video game history. It was 2 years after Halo 3, which was one of the biggest game launches of all time. This was 3 years after the launch of the Nintendo Wii, which introduced a sort of cultural like ubiquity to gaming. It opened up kind of like that final barrier of well, not the final barrier, but it opened up gaming to a huge swath of people who would not have been, like my grandparents were playing Nintendo Wii games. Like it was open to everybody. Halo was like if Halo remained in like video game spaces, the Wii like broke out of it and got into like the retirement home or whatever. And then 2009 was all 2 years after the launch of the iPhone, which was kind of the final frontier for opening up gaming to an even bigger public. And I am of the opinion that gaming should be available to as many people as possible. I know what like my experiences and oh god, well there we go. I know what my experiences have been, and I want that to be open to everybody, and everybody to feel like they belong or have a place or whatever in the discourse, whatever we're saying. So I guess I should give a CW for the fact that I'm gonna shout. I guess nobody's watching anyway, so except for me in the future as I'm studying my own work to determine how I felt at this very moment. That's the thing. God, this sucks. I don't want to do this. God, when are we gonna get to the fireworks factory, people? Classic Simpsons joke there. Anyway, here we go. What's this dude's name? They've all got names. Captain McTavish, yeah. Alright. Good old ice climbing mission. Oh, shit. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I have to hold both mouse buttons down as I climb up to simulate. This is weird because if I remember right, like ice climbing is never used again in the game. Oh shit! Just like I kind of told him not to fly. I also have not been paying attention to the plot really at all, so that old shit gotta hold on to that one. Yeah, sorry. It's not even that bad, it's just like, there we go. And here we are up the cliff. Alright, now we will attack my man here. Yeah! Let's do some hitting. Cool. Alright. Jump. Ah. Oh, shoot. You know, this is pretty impressive, I gotta say. Strong. Dude, video games, yeah. What's up, everybody? We're here playing, I've just been saved by a man, and now I got a gun. So welcome to my academic intrigue into a video game where you get to play through a terrorist attack. Right now I am activating my heartbeat sensor to prove that I do still beat. Is this a real technology? And we got like... That doesn't seem to be realistic. I'll take the one. Well, I mean, you're right. Yeah, I got him. Alright. Something very satisfying about that, because I've been put into... I'm going to blame this on growing up in the United States, that I love shooting people with a gun in a video game. So yeah, I think I'm on the third mission. I hope to God I'm on the third mission, because I don't want to play this for like too much longer. And I think the fourth one is the one where you shoot up the airport. It's called No Russian. I was just going through my spiel about why I am loving this video game, Michael. Thank you. I love shooting shit. Yeah, so the entire purpose of covering this is to look at the the level No Russian, which I believe is the next one. It's got its own Wikipedia page and everything. One of the only video game levels I know of to have like its own Wikipedia-ass Wikipedia page. In that level, you shoot up an airport, and you basically go through a terrorist attack, highly controversial at the time, as I think rightfully so, and they really don't stick the landing with it. The Activision/Infinity Ward, and we're going to look at that through the lens of Lloyd Bitzer's article, The Rhetorical Situation, which is a rhetorical concept just that can be applied to basically any text where you cover... I should go find the actual text because I had it written down. It's exigencies... hold on, I'm gonna go to Wikipedia because I want to be able to... there we go. Yeah, okay, so it's exigency, audience, and constraints. So your exigencies are, or exigences, I guess, are what's pushing you to produce a rhetorical text. Your audience is obviously your audience, and your constraints are whatever would constrain you from producing that text. So in this case, the way that I looked at it, oh shit, can I just... Oh, is this a stealth thing? Well, stop. Oh god, I hate when they put stealth things in my normal games. That's, oh, well, I got him. Whatever. Anyway, your exigencies are immense. 2009 games were quote-unquote coming into their own. They were a mature, kind of gaining some acceptance as a mature art form, and certainly had surpassed like the capital that they needed to, the amount of capital gain that they needed to surpass. They had been a huge moneymaker. like 2008, 2009, like was really the peak of these giant budget video games that were like cinematic experiences like this. Now your cinematic games are more like open world. There's a really good article over at deorbital.media by Jackson Tyler, I believe is their name, called The Game of the Year, which was about the God of War, and basically they just present this idea that like the God of War that came out this year and the Red Dead Redemption and the Lara Croft Tomb Raider that come out this year, like the biggest games all tend to have like the same sort of base level construction, if that makes sense. They're all like kind of open world, waypointy, like it's like an exploration type of game, like a real melding of genres. Whereas a game like this doesn't come out so much anymore, where you're just kind of oh shit. Okay. Thank you, WR Inge, for the anti-war message here in my war game. Yeah, games like this where you're kind of railroaded down a path. You're kind of given a street to follow, and you follow it. You don't really get to improvise. You don't get to do too much. You don't get to make your own path. You kind of follow the game's path. So it's kind of, it's in a weird way, and this is a cliche thing to say, and it always has been, and it always will be, but you are like playing a movie in a more hands-on sense than in like the Night Trap sense, where you were literally playing like a video and giving your own couple clicks here and there to change things. But like, you don't have any control over like how the story progresses. Every mission is every mission in this game, and on this scale, like that are the Game of the Year type of games from big publishers like this, that doesn't happen anymore. If you go or it doesn't happen in the scale that it does now, where you have like these big campaign modes. And what the hell am I doing? I just want to get through this. Like I don't care. Thank you, John Fortnite Kennedy, who was murdered by the CIA. I'm gonna hold that up. This is gonna be the only Twitch show where we're like pumped up to just talk about Lee Harvey Oswald being a CIA plant. But anyway, it was a particular time for games, is what I was trying to get at. This game made an incredible amount of money. It was a juggernaut, but it was still separate from a sort of cultural discourse. The good thing of not having anybody watch this until now is that I've made this spiel like 5 times, and I've been slightly better every time. Think now at how, for instance, you can watch like the Overwatch League on television now, and it's not super weird. You could. I was watching like an MLB baseball game. I don't know what other type of MLB game there would be. And the announcers and one of the players were talking about how they had played in Fortnite like fairly recently. And that wasn't something that just like came up as a normal thing. They wouldn't have been talking like specifically about like a game they played. Back in like 2009, it would have still been kind of a little bit not like stigmatized, but still abnormal for like somebody on the Colorado Rockies to be really into Halo. It would have been more, at least to my memory, it would have been like, this guy really likes playing video games, rather than like, this guy's into this specific video games, and we will talk about that specific video game like in like a detailed context, if that makes sense. So yeah, but this was still huge. I mean, this made gobs of money. I don't have the stats on me, and so that justifies it as being good art, because it made a lot of money, and went into the homes of millions of people. Tango on my 6. Am I supposed to get around these people, or just not get shot? Because this is the other thing, is I just do not care about this game that much. I paid $20 for it. Am I right? Do I have to kill him? Oh god. Well, I should have paid attention to any of the pre-mission like briefings. Where am I going? Oh, thank you. Is he watching me through like my glasses or whatever? He knows all my shit. That's cool. Good for him. Captain, what is it, McTavish? I don't want to start again. I'm tired of running. I got down on the ground here, and it's kind of cool. You get like jelly on your face, whatever. So anyway, this was a big point in time. Games were coming into their own. Games were legitimate for the first time, it seemed. And yet, we hadn't had the sort of big, like, artistic, sweeping statement that movies got. Where, like, movies had their World Trade Center and United 93 only a few years before. Or anything like that. Games didn't have, like, a Saving Private Ryan in that sense. We didn't have, like, the big military... We had big military games, but we didn't have, like, the big military movie equivalent of games. The one, you know... we didn't have the piece of media that was going to legitimize the art form as an art form, right? Ah, shit. All this fog. I'm glad that my computer can render all this fog. Just loving the fog, baby. Shoot these guys by the plane. Alright. Anyway, I had a point. So, my exigency is basically that somebody needed to make that big, grandiose statement game that needed to delve into a controversial topic. And this was the game where... in 2007, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, which Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, made probably the first, like, big... statement like that. It had a scene where you control one of them military... Oh shit, that's my guy. You control one of them military things. You control with the laptop, like Buster Bluth does in God, whatever that show was called. I knew Arrested Development. Jesus Christ, how do I forget all this? I got too much stuff in my brain. And then also in Call of Duty 4, there was a nuclear bomb attack, and you get caught in the nuclear bomb. And it's like a genuinely powerful scene, and a lot of people didn't see it coming at the time. I didn't see it coming. I was 12, obviously, so I didn't play it until I was much older. So I knew it was coming, but, like, it still does hit you. It's an effective scene, I would say. And this game came out 2 years later. People were expecting it to do something similar. Or another, blow our minds again. Infinity Ward was the name of the developer. And so what they ended up with, effectively, through probably a series of meetings and all this writing and developing and whatever, is a scene where you shoot, you do mass murder at an airport. It's relatively clumsily executed. It was, oh god, what am I even doing? I'm just watching this dude work on this thing. It was relatively clumsily executed. Got controversy, all that sort of thing. But it was still a really interesting decision to make, one that deserves to be unpacked, and one that I don't think games of this style get oh god, my dude just gonna die here? Okay, I got the ACS module. Jesus Christ, okay. What do I do? Tell me, game. Jesus Christ! This is just gonna die, I guess. Okay. That's plan B. Okay, alright, there we go. Oh, it's because they spotted me, so they... Alright, I got you. Bunch of dudes just died. That's really interesting. And then the other ones, like, stood up like nothing happened. That's pretty funny. Okay. Anyway, this kind of poorly done, really clumsy terrorist mission that was in a video game, in conclusion, is a land of contrasts, and it deserves to be looked at. Games like this don't get a reputation, or games like this don't get covered the way that a lot of other like more artistic, like independent games do, and maybe rightfully so, maybe because these games aren't that particularly interesting, but these were a cultural event in a sense that they aren't even anymore. Like, people don't give a shit when a new Call of Duty comes out. I mean, like, the Call of Duty fans do, but like, you know, just it's not making like the morning news. Oh my god. Okay, alright, that's cool. A fan of that, getting hit by a snowmobile. Fan of that. So this, I hope I don't gotta just fuck around up here in the, wherever I am. Siberia, or shooting up planes or whatever. Ah, god, how do I crouch? Let's see. This is like bringing back memories, though. I gotta cover this dude. How do I do that? Oh, that's not even my guy. Okay, here's my guy. Okay, I'm gonna try not to get hit by the snowmobile men. He's my guy. I don't want to shoot him. Which sucks. He's basically indistinguishable, though, like, from afar. If he didn't have his name over him, I would just shoot him. I think I have multiple times been like, oh, he's my guy. So I'm playing on easy mode, so this doesn't even matter. Yeah, the funniest thing about this is that I keep dying, and I'm playing on, like, the easiest difficulty. Because I wanted to get through this easily. And, God, why wasted time? And John Flossing Kennedy, as he said, Michael, thank you. Probably Michael both times I've referenced you on his stream. That's kind of funny. Oh, there's my guy. They're all just chilling. So you remember, God, what was that game where, this is like the quintessential bowling alley games where guys would just, like, pop out from behind, like, pieces of furniture and make grimaces at you, and then you had to shoot them with a gun? That's what this game is. Is this my guy? No. He's my friend. He's not my friend. God, well, where's my friend then? Ah, shit. Is this him? Oh, God. Oh, shit, don't hit me with your car, please. I just don't want to do this again. I'm just so fucking bored of this game. I do not like this game. But I must cover it. Well, it's not like an intense dislike. It's like how I don't like it's like I don't have a particular like affinity for skim milk, you know? Like, I'll drink it and it's fine, but it's like, if I weren't doing this for like for school, I would love to go back to me at 14, by the way, and tell me like, yeah, I'm playing Call of Duty games for school. Why is it? Because my friend, Captain McTavish, is a man with he's like a Caucasian male with a beard. And like all of my enemies are also Caucasian males with beards. And so I'm seeing him shoot, and it's like, oh, that's my friend, and then it's not. Anyway, so my last tangent was that would be Area 51. Holy shit, yeah. No, that was like the peak of games that were at that, and like the what the hell was that, like VR Hive or whatever, with the big yellow thing you put over your head. Those were like that cop trainer game. There were all those games that just like every like bowling alley and roller rink and ice skating rink had. I feel like is a genre of game in and of itself. Movie theaters had games like these. And they're like, obviously they're still regular arcade games. It's just there's no affinity for them. You know, nobody's like recreating them or putting them on consoles. There's no console version of like that police training game. This really does not seem like an effective, efficient way of firing a weapon. I don't want to hit the tree. Oh God. You know, George of the Jungle scenario there. You guys heard of that? He was funny because in the title of that show, they would say, "Watch out for the tree," and then he would hit the tree in the title. And it was like, wow, they're packing jokes in like even during the title sequence, which I respect. That's comedy right there. The George of the Jungle, check it out. Like, watch out for that tree. And you're like, oh, okay, that's like a funny little thing. That's like you put that in because that's something that might happen in the show, and then actually during the fiction of the theme song, he would run into the tree, and he really did need to watch out for that tree. Is there anybody? Well, I suppose thank you, Nathan Hale, who gave one life for his country. Which, dude, that would kick ass to have 2 lives just to flex on Nathan Hale. And give both of them to your country. God, shooting really does not seem like a valuable use of my time, though, is the thing. Because I really down. Also, my computer is just straight up chugging here. So that's fun. It was his jungle. Here's the other thing that sucks. George never got to become the king of the jungle, from what I understand. He was just of it. He was just like a guy from the jungle, effectively. They didn't even give him the chance, though, to avoid the tree. That was the thing. Like, wait until the fiction of the actual, like, show to be like, alright, George, tree coming up. But he didn't even make it to the show before he hit the tree. It was just a bad time for him. Alright, here we are, I think. Yeah, this will be it. This is also weirdly effective text from the middle of the Forever War we're still in. Rest in peace, George H.W. Bush, by the way. He was not related to me. But this is an incredibly 2009 game in that sense. I was talking to my friend Kevin, who I hope, Kevin, if you're watching, what's up? And this was 2009. During a period of time when we had just elected, we being the American public, had just elected a president whose whole thing was, like, not whole thing, but like we thought Obama might get us out of Iraq, and then we really kind of didn't get out of Iraq for a while. And so that was another thing. This was also, you know, a post-Bush era game, one of the first big post-Bush era video games. Okay, I've held on this screen. This is a particularly interesting thing to have here. Literally a content warning. I do not want to skip the mission, though. I want to play the mission. This was super strange to see in a game from 2009. This was, like, weirdly, like, am I sure? Damn. I've never done this, actually, before, because when I was, I don't think I played through the mission as a kid, when I was 14. But the fact that it would allow you to skip the mission was kind of, like, unheard of to that point. And it was a controversial thing. They had to put it in. Like, I think, the media got wind that this was going to happen. I'm going to kind of step back and just play through this and more so, like, tell my reaction. But the media, like, I think, kind of pushed them to do this, so to have a content warning and the ability to skip the mission. Should probably use my actual keyword. So I kind of want to take a step back here, and oh my fucking god. I reload, like, mechanically, like it's like muscle memory. God, what the fuck? I want to shoot. Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus Christ. there is something about actually playing this for the first time in a decade. Like, because I watched videos about it to prepare for this, but like actually being in control here is, oh god, this is a feeling, man. God damn. I thought I was gonna just go through this and like play it, you know? But I don't. Holy shit. This is just in a video game. Really poor texture up there above the chocolate in the duty-free store. But, oh my god. At times, Burger Town, by the way. At times like this, I want to question what it is, like, that I'm supposed to feel. What did the artist intend for me to feel? Yeah, this is a video game. This is a fucking video game. Because I compare this to... Wait, okay, what was I about to say? I'm feeling that, like, dissonance, because I don't know what the developer intended for me to feel. What the developer wanted me to feel from, like, playing through this thing where I just shoot, like, this is also weird. Like, I'm not going to shoot these people, like, writhing in pain, crawling away from me. I know it's a fictional video game, but I'm just not, and that man just died in front of me. Somebody programmed that man dying in front of me, like, to be cinematic, and this man here, they spent hours crunching to make sure that the terrified civilians crawling their ass away from me as they bleed out and die here looked as accurate as possible and as effective as possible for what they need. And I come back to the scene in The Wire. I haven't actually seen just a quote from The Wire, like, you come to the king, you best not miss. This is that sort of thing. If you're going to put a fucking terrorist attack in your video game where I play through, you better goddamn do it right. And I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be feeling right now. Because what I'm getting out of this is not anger at the fact that I've committed a terrorist attack or anger at this dude Makarov, who's the villain of the game. I am feeling like just like astonishment that some motherfucker at Infinity Ward felt like they were going to be the one to do this right. That they were going to tell the video game terrorist attack story right. That, oh yeah, sorry, I have to press 3 to use the M203 grenade launcher as I'm contemplating the fact that I'm killing a Russian SWAT, like, police, whatever. You motherfuckers better have done this right. Like, that's the entire thing that should have come out of this. There was, and they're just, I don't know that there was a way for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 to do this right. To have made this effective on a level other than just the pure exception of, like, yep, they did it. we got video game terrorist attack. I've shot up an airport in a video game now. Like, fucking wonderful. And this I think is even different than the JFK Reloaded, than the Columbine Massacre game, than that 9/11 VR game that came out a couple of years ago, where you were like inside the World Trade Center as the as the plane hit. Because those were all indie games. Like, those were all pretty small budget games. This was not. This was the biggest game of 2009. This defined what video games were in the year 2009. This game was a cultural phenomenon. Purely, if we even just look at my junior high school, where I was at the time, every, like, we like got out of school on the day that it came out. Like I had kids call in sick and not come to school to play this game, and playing it now it just feels so fucking strange. And I will start like actually playing the game now, but I wish I wasn't swearing. I wish I had more gravitas to this, but I'm like genuinely like I started to feel like my hands shaking, as especially that first part when you're shooting the civilians, like how the hell did you think you were going to do this well? To the point where I was going to take something out of this that was more than, I just shot up an airport in a video game. Isn't that neat? Like, the irresponsibility of this, even just on an artistic scale, is the hubris here. That's the word I'm looking for. The hubris of them thinking we were going to be the ones to do fucking airport shoot-up game right, with millions of dollars behind it. A game that like penetrated everywhere. A game that was a culturally significant text at the time. Like a game that defines 2009 in video game, that defines that era, that console, this series in video games. Like Modern Warfare 2 was like kind of the pinnacle of that. A game that everybody was going to play in as much of a way as everybody. I can't stand there apparently. I want to stand there. Let me stand there. In as much of a way as everybody could be playing a video game, Modern Warfare 2 is a game that everybody played, that crossed barriers, that was... And if they were... I don't know that there was a way that they could have done No Russian well, but they didn't. At least in my interpretation, and that's not going to go into the paper probably, that I personally, well, no, I'll probably say, like, yeah, in my playthrough, I was more shocked by the fact that this text was made than the text itself, and I think that is ineffective as a piece of art. And the sort of thing I'm reminded of now is back in like 2010 when that Roger Ebert essay came out about how where he effectively defined like video games. He said, like, I think he said something along the lines of like games could potentially be an art form someday, but they are not now. And so there was this kind of like pseudo controversy where like the games, you got to shoot at the feet here behind the riot shield, so you make sure you hit the meaty bits. I use the noob tube here. Get through them. But this is what I remember was this like taking up arms. It's like, no, video games are art, and in a way, this game, like, I think solidifies that, because everybody gets to, when video games get to make their $1 million misstep, shock value, mediocre production, like in this case, like perhaps this is art. It sucks, but well, I shouldn't say it sucks. It's just poorly done. But everything gets to have that, you know. Like we get to watch like 6 Marvel Avengers movies every year and have no emotional attachment to them at all. And there's millions of dollars behind those every year. But those are still art because film is art. Oh shit! Okay, I just got shot. To go along with the previous theme of like you die all the time in this game, it doesn't matter. Okay. Well, that affected me more than I thought it would. Like, there is something to having that under your fingers, to controlling the gun as civilians get shot. I noticed as I played that, I probably clicked down the mouse for maybe the first 5 seconds and then couldn't do it anymore. Even if it is a piece of fiction or whatever. There is something in me that I don't want to bring that out. Like, I don't want to know that I was the one who was, even in a fictional depiction of this, like, just cool with gunning down, like, civilians in an airport. Anyway, that's the end of the Joe Bush video game comedy hour for tonight. I'll have more to say about this. I'm glad I had that experience, and I'm glad I considered not filming it, but I'm actually glad I have this document now to go back to as I go through and play this, and I go through and study just the way that this affected me, because that's an incredibly, God, this is a piece of work right here, this here video game, and a decade out, it's still stripped of the gravitas, stripped of the kairos of the era, stripped of what 2009 felt like, what Modern Warfare 2 was in context. That's still weird. And I think that the emotional response that I got out of that was different from what the developer intended, which is something I can put in. I noticed that I can't remember a single thing. Past the word "remember no Russian," I can't remember a single thing that came out of that. Like dialogue, text, anything. Other than there was a Burger Master, I remember, and that was weird. That kind of jarred me for a second. And I don't really understand what the plot significance was because I didn't care. Partially because I was playing this to see how I felt, and partially because it doesn't matter in my interpretation of the game. I was not ready for that, as I gotta be completely honest with that. I was not ready to go through No Russian like that. So thank you, Mike and Future Perfect, both for going through this with me, and the assorted viewers who came in, saw what was happening on screen, and hopped out. I had like 5 viewers like midway through that, and I was like, oh shit, like yeah, they're not gonna want to see the airport massacre scene, I bet. Because who would want to see the fucking airport massacre scene? Like, that's the thing, is going through, I think I've played 2 first-person shooter games to completion since the Sandy Hook massacre in 2012, because that fucked me up emotionally. Really made me think about guns. That was the last year that I worked at the scout camp, and I remember not interacting at all with like our gun range after that, because that was kind of the source of where I just like kind of gave up. That 2012 was the year of Sandy Hook and the theater shooting in Aurora, Colorado, and that was a time where I really started to it affected me to the point where I don't enjoy shit like this anymore. Like, the only first person shooters I'd say I've played like through completion were Halo 5 back in 2015 and High Hell. Halo 5 is a really like sci-fi shooter game. It didn't feel that weird. High Hell was like a cartoonish, like it had an artistic sense to it that I enjoyed though. And I guess I played Strafe last year, but that doesn't, you know, all those, none of those games are like realistic military games. Like those were real guns I was picking up and using. Like I recognized some of the names of the guns. With like it was an M4A1 and a Desert Eagle and a AK-47. I'm like almost tearing up here. This is weird. But the thing, like, that does have guns obviously have an effect on our psyche. 2009 was also before most of this, like, current string. I guess we were 2 years after Virginia Tech, so maybe that's not entirely correct. But it is more, school shootings are undeniably more ubiquitous now, at least in the media mindset, than they used to be. So gun depictions like that. Not, obviously, I'm not, like, going to be, like, correlation to causation, but this idea of, Thomas Rickert, who's an academic, has this idea of ambient exigence, that everything that goes into a time, just like a general, the German word is Zeitgeist. I think the more rhetorical word would be discourse. adds up into what becomes your exigence. It might not even like show up necessarily, but if you're making a war shooter in 2009, the fact that 9/11 happened 8 years before matters. Even if that's like not a stated exigence or one that the developer was thinking about, if it changed the way that the game was, or if it, sorry, you're looking at a black screen. I think it would be funny to put like a funny picture up here because I'm gonna keep going. Because I'm using this for posterity for myself. But that idea of there we go. We'll put cool. Chill in here. That idea of an exigency being something that's more than like what you state. I'm gonna bring in to that because that's obviously like we hadn't really healed from 9/11 then in 2009, and obviously we haven't yet. We were still in Iraq, Afghanistan, etc. And this being a war game, I don't know so much how that plays into like the terrorist attack that I've just done virtually, but it's got to have something to do with something, right? So I don't know, I'm kind of running out of steam here and I'm hungry, and I genuinely didn't expect that to take the emotional hit on me that it took. Like I didn't expect to have I had a physical like feeling of revulsion. Like I'm like weirdly sweating now having played that. That just felt wrong. It's a different time now, and I knew everybody in my 9th grade. Oh shit! I was gonna watch the entirety of the Mavericks Clippers game, and I don't know if we won or not, because I get the Clippers on a cable, whatever. I know everybody in like my 9th grade class though played through that mission, and like I feel like playing through a terrorist attack as a 23-year-old affected me. I cannot begin to fathom what it would do to a 14-year-old who wasn't like prepared, who thought they were prepared and couldn't handle it. I don't know. I'm kind of running in circles here, but this is helpful to. I'll go back, draw from the Oxford Guide to Writing Tutors, where it says like you're supposed to record everything because sometimes you say things you don't intend to record down. Anyway, that's that. Thanks y'all for joining me here on the Joe Bush Video Game Comedy Hour here on joebush.net for the funniest, all your funny video game jokes here. Right here, we'll move Luigi around, just because I didn't want to be shouting into a black void, because that felt weird. I'll see y'all later. Thank you to those of y'all who stuck around.